I'm trying to forget the song that the Girl Talk team come from. All right, welcome back, everybody. Being financially independent, right? An important goal for people of all backgrounds, but it's particularly important, says the prompter, for women who have historically been marginalized by the job market.
Financial awareness and money management skill can lend women a deeper sense of security that makes it easier to save and invest for the future. So in Girl Talk this morning, we outline some of the challenges women face in the financial world and discuss the strategies for maintaining financial independence. So let us talk about it, Simsima.
Yes, moneygeek.com is our source this morning, looking at some of the challenges women face in the financial world. One, we are paid less than men.
This is a fact.
Children can disrupt our career. This is also true. The men don't really have kind of issues that we have. And we're talking generally speaking. Certainly there are anomalies, but
I do understand why it is that for many people when we say these things, like, okay, I had a child and so I had to just, it's like, why? So was it that really big and serious that you had to stop doing what you're doing? Yes. It really doesn't go back to normal, because you have a whole human being in addition to yourself.
That's why the word says disrupt.
Exactly.
A career. It can disrupt. And it's disruption. It doesn't end it. I mean, some folks realize they can't manage, but to go back to your 9 to 5 or to be an entrepreneur and manage your business while you have a child, it is a different skill set.
It is.
I mean, we approach it every day like it's nothing because it becomes something you eventually learn how to handle, but it's really, really hard.
It is a disruption.
It is very hard.
It is a disruption for sure. It also says that women have less exposure to financial literacy.
I don't know if that's true today.
I don't know if that's all the way true for real.
Certainly in Jamaica, there's a lot of information out there now. Whether we have the same access to financial assistance, especially as business owners, that's a different story. But I feel that information is out there.
I think so too. It also says here that women live longer than men.
Yeah. So, historically, I'm wondering, do you think we have a culture of women depending on men in today's Jamaica?
In today's Jamaica, maybe not so much as before. I think in the traditional Jamaica, our traditional world, in fact, I think we were cultured as women to be homekeepers and that the men would be providing the money and that we would take care of the home, take care of the kids, take care of the yard, cook the dinner, all of these things, cook breakfast, iron the clothes, wash the clothes, in which way I think that's a job unto itself and deserves payment.
Homemaking is not a joke.
It is not a joke.
It is a full-time job.
It is.
As well. Fuller or extra, actually, because you don't get breaks, you don't get time off.
You don't get breaks,
so
exactly.
It's a round-the-clock experience.
So I think no, though. I think that has changed a lot, and women are finding that we are much more than homemakers. In fact, we can actually, some women, strike the balance between being homemakers and actually carrying in bread as well, but it is hard.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It is not easy.
It's difficult.
Right?
And we find, too, especially the last 2 years, a lot of women have become business owners in light of the pandemic.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. So there's some strategies to maintain your financial independence. So the first one says tap into investments, right? So in addition to providing a reliable source of income, investments can help combat inflation and serve as a vehicle to ensure that savings continue to grow. Many women are familiar with the concept but unaware of the full extent of possible dividends or doubt their ability to invest successfully. So they're saying here that in reality, women are just as effective as men when it comes to investing, and their portfolios tend to be more successful. Investing allows women to have an equal opportunity at accumulating the same wealth as men.
You're not even trying to accumulate the same wealth as nobody. You're just trying to make sure,
money
right, when you reach a certain point, you have enough put on. So you're not trying to measure up to anybody. You're just trying to make yourself and those who depend on you financially stable in the years to come.
Yeah.
Evaluate your spending habits and create a budget.
Budget.
Budgets allow you to spend within your means and also to save for your financial goals. Despite common stereotypes, men were actually found to have on average higher post-tax expenditures than women. So while women are often better at managing money than they give themselves credit for, it is worthwhile for them to evaluate where their money is going. I feel watched.
Yeah, yeah. And
targeted.
I think we as women over the years have managed to do a lot with very little.
So make it stretch.
I understand a woman really know how to stretch the dollar for sure.
Yeah.
It also says here, start saving, establishing emergency funds, and building credit. When outlining a monthly budget, it's important to set aside a specific amount of savings. Most financial experts suggest keeping an emergency fund with enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. Such savings can help in the worst times, such as during a health scare, a job loss, or a family emergency, or a pandemic, which many of us had to dig back into the financial. Yeah, the emergency fund became our main fund.
Yeah, I know people whose savings were completely
wiped out. Yes, yes. But God bless that we had it, because, you know.
Yeah. Especially folks in entertainment.
Exactly,
had no
exactly.
work to go to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Building credit is another way, they say, to make financial headway. Start by paying off your credit card balances every month. This is foreign, to enhance your credit score.
Yeah.
And then this last one, which is something that a lot of people never used to think about, but it's become front and center now, which is planning for retirement. You know, we had a lady on yesterday who wrote a book on retirement, who said the time to plan for retirement is the day that you enter the workforce.
Yes.
A lot of us don't realize until it's too late that we're not doing enough, right? So on average, women live 6 to 8 years longer than men. This is according to the WHO. Since women often have less than men saved, however, they frequently outlive their money.
Wow.
That's so scary, I thought. Women can have a more enjoyable retirement by saving for their later years. I think this is the point where we let you know that your partner is not a financial plan. Your partner is not an investment instrument. There can be a very negative return on your ROI.
Yes.
If you put your partner as your investment plan. Because true by, if things do not work out the way you want it to work out, and your partner was your financial plan, then all of a sudden, you don't have neither a financial nor another plan. You don't have any plan at all. Yeah.
Right?
So.
And it's just important. I think, you know, when you're growing up now, when you're growing women, when you're growing up girls, you have to instill in them the importance of being sufficient, stand on your own 2 legs,
independent,
and anybody else them come to add to, not necessarily to be dependent upon, because a whole heap of things happen in that space of being dependent, right? Whole heap of things, the disrespect, the undermining, you know, the whole heap of something.
And there's so many women who are watching this right now who are in relationships that they know they ought not to be in, but they cannot leave because
they don't feel
they
like
are fully dependent. And a lot of men engineer it that way too, you know, folks, because they know that's a good grip to have on a woman. But you have a choice, right? And as difficult as it is, then you have to try and strive for your own independence, because your relationship is not an additional revenue stream.
Exactly. And I'm very happy that we can earn money in multiple ways now. You can stay at home and earn a good money, you know.
Correct.
You can stay home and don't go nowhere at all and be on your computer and
check
earn
your
some
options,
money.
man. Check your options.
For sure.
Check your options. That's it for our Girl Talk.